and welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Atmansky, and I'm here today with
Justin Meow Clue.
And Colin Cunningham.
And if you can't tell, this week we had a cat-tastrophe of an episode.
Wait, can I pause for a second?
We paid tribute to probably my favorite animal in the whole world, the cat.
What? That's your favorite animal? What about like the T-Rex?
What about human beings?
Human. That's her favorite thing, to hunt, but not her favorite animal.
Is April
the
Predator?
most dangerous game.
So the first movie we watched tonight was the cinematic classic from 2004, Catwoman.
Yeah, directed by
Pitoff.
Pitoff.
My favorite visual effects artist that has only one name.
It's like,
Not my favorite director with one name. That would be Mink, the director of the Steven Seagal film Into the Sun.
His name is Mink?
Not even joking.
Oh
yes.
my God.
It's got style.
That's right.
I don't know.
Just like this film has style, right?
Oh, style to spare.
Yeah, a little too much style. So most people are probably familiar with this movie. It won several Razzies.
I think like 6?
Yeah, something like that.
It has like a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is really low.
I mean, let's set the scene. So there was a young man named Bruce Wayne, and he was with his parents seeing Zorro, and they decided to cut through Crime Alley. Okay, sorry. And he also has a supervillain / love interest called Catwoman. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter because there's no references to Batman at all in this.
Or,
this is
or Gotham.
Nope.
Yeah, that's right.
We're in Seattle.
Was it supposed to be Seattle? I don't know. It looked like it was shot in Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver, right. Because we ask ourselves, is there a big needle in Vancouver of some kind?
Yeah, but I guess to go back to the beginning, like this was supposed to be, this is like a sort of spin-off of Batman Returns originally.
Yeah, so it was supposed to come out in 1995, I think.
Yeah, and so it was supposed to be Tim Burton originally.
Mm-hmm.
And
Daniel Waters writing, the writer of Heathers, and he did a draft of Batman Returns.
Okay, and then Michelle Pfeiffer was going to be returning, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then it sort of waffle. I guess like Tim Burton didn't know if he wanted to come back and do it, and then was it the Waters guy turned in the script the day Batman Forever came out in theaters.
Yeah.
And then Tim Burton was just like, no, I don't want anything to do with this.
So the other two Batmans, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, probably killed the goodwill towards making this movie.
Yeah, I think Tim Burton probably just didn't want to get back to it. And then Michelle Pfeiffer bowed out, and then it was going to be Annette Bening at some point or something.
Annette Bening.
Yeah, it went to like other...
Even in the 90s, I think she would have been a bit too old.
I don't know.
But instead, it went to Oscar winner Halle Berry.
Yeah.
And Oscar winner... Oh, wait, no, sorry.
Pitoff? Oh, you're going to say Sharon Stone?
Was
she nominated for Basic Instinct?
She should have been.
So this is a movie that they also put a lot of money into, $100 million. Now,
Crazy.
I don't want to be someone who like judges the quality of a film or docks points based on how much it costs. This does not look like $100 million movie.
No, it doesn't. First of all, like Pitoff.
So, for people who don't know who Pitoff is, he's most famous for working with Jean-Pierre Jeunet, the director of Alien. Like, they worked very close hand in hand when they made Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, I think he was the visual effects supervisor on a lot of his movies. Mm-hmm. And then I think he was like a second unit director on Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, that's right.
And he had started a little, it's a place called Durand Dubois. It's like a Parisian VFX company. I think they did a lot of work in commercials.
Would you like a baguette? I'm French, I'm allowed.
Yeah, of course. He had like a post company, and then I guess he may have directed some commercials and music videos.
He directed a feature film in France. I believe it's the first like widely released digital feature film, a film called Viduc, which was like a mystery kind of... It's really insane. It's like a Sherlock Holmesian kind of thing.
Oh, weird.
A villain who wears like a reflective mask and has a Spawn-like cloak around him the entire time.
Another superhero thing, kind of.
So it was an easy sell, I assume, when they were like, we need somebody with some style to direct Catwoman. There was a lot of this, I don't know if it was from this period, but just like VFX supervisors
getting, whoa, hey, you want to direct a film, kid? It's like, here's $100 million. And
You got any wide angle lenses?
it never works out. So
What do you mean? I think that there is more than the VFX doubles in this movie than it ever needs, which is good in my opinion.
I just mean like as movies as genre, when you always see it's like a VFX artist directing a movie, 99% of the time it's not going to be a good movie.
Wait. Are you saying that VFX artists aren't storytellers?
It's
As a VFX
unbelievable.
artist yourself.
No, I mean, as a VFX artist, you work on shot by shot, whatever. You're always serving somebody else's vision.
Okay.
And, to hand $100 million over to this almost first time director, pretty much. But you see it in like movies like Spawn or.
Hey, that director would go on to make Frankenfish, a very enjoyable monster movie.
Oh my God. And then Aragon. It was like that dragon movie.
yeah.
It's the same director as Spawn.
No. That was one of his friends from ILM, Stefan Fangmeyer, and
remember Aragon.
Spaz, Steve Williams, went on to do The Wild.
The guy who directed that Maleficence movie.
Oh, that's right.
I'm saying it wrong. He was a VFX guy as well,
Maleficent.
wasn't
He
he?
worked on Empire of the Dark. It was like stop motion creatures and
Yes,
stuff like
that's
that.
right.
Yeah.
He was a
All
big
right.
ILM guy.
Yeah. So it can work out.
Well, I don't know. I've never seen Maleficent.
Are you speaking specifically of Empire of the Dark, an amazing movie?
Yeah, but I haven't seen Maleficent.
Well, generally, I mean,
Get the sequel.
For a studio, like I'm just sort of trying to get into the mindset of a studio.
Let me get into it for you. It's there's going to be a lot of VFX in this movie. It'll be cheaper to hire a VFX guy because he knows what he's doing and will cut out a middleman and not have to worry about it. Oh, Colin's shaking his head.
No, because they always
That's
have.
what they think, though.
They think that it's like, oh, it'll make, he'll understand the process and somehow the movie making will be more efficient or something. But you always have a VFX supervisor on set. That's the person that's there to take care of the visual effects, regardless or if the director knows anything about VFX.
I'm a
at
fat
all.
cat studio head, and I think I know better than you do, Colin.
Well.
A VFX guy will just be able to do it.
Okay, well,
Well-
then you get Catwoman.
Oh, by the way, Catwoman
Meow.
does not need a bunch of visual effects.
Doesn't.
You could
You
tell
think so?
this story with no visual effects.
What are you
at
talking
all.
about?
And
it
I mean,
was
like,
it was
you
going to
know.
be released in IMAX, and it got canceled
that's
at the
right.
last minute.
Wait,
and
they
it's
had that
like-
amazing cat.
It was like Catwoman in IMAX.
Yeah, no, you need you could do most of the stuff practically, but in this movie, she is a CGI person running and jumping all over the
Yeah.
place.
Now, when you hire Pitoff,
Yeah, you get
CGI.
like plastic rubber Halle Berry
yeah,
doing a bunch of
running up
shit.
and down buildings.
yeah, horribly.
So
but-
this movie barely has any plot. It's Halle Berry is a graphic designer working for a beauty company. And when she learns that the skin cream that they're going to be releasing to the market will destroy people if they stop using it, and also it will give them granite-like skin if they keep using it.
Yeah.
She is murdered by being farted out of a sewage line.
And she's saved by
A giant CGI cat
CGI cats.
burps into her mouth.
So it's
Yeah.
like it burps tuna breath into her mouth.
Big breath, like visible
The
breath.
camera in this scene twice goes into the mouth of a cat.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
Not unlike our movie next, but
Yeah, like the next movie we're going to talk about.
Oh, God.
And Halle Berry wakes up and she decides not to wear muumuus anymore.
she is. Well, they tried to
She had a problem.
they try to kind of frumpy her up a bit. It's like she's supposed to be this person with no confidence, and she's kind of like a meek.
So she wears like
employee.
a garbage bag of
Yeah.
clothes.
Her pants and her frocks that she wears.
Everything, but unfortunately, Halle Berry is she's just a very, very small person. So they put her in triple XL clothing,
gigantic muumuus.
and it just looks ridiculous.
What would you describe? She wears like a shirt for like almost half the movie that has like
Yeah.
giant like,
sleeves and frills around the cuffs.
They're on the cuffs. So the cuffs are just giant. I don't even know if I can
They're like
describe
clown
it.
clothes.
Yeah, kind of like clown frills or like something like the vampire Lestat would wear, like with those they used to have around the hands, so you can't even see her hands. They're just like covered.
But Halle Berry realizes she's gotten the powers of the cat, which for some reason in this movie, I don't think this is canonical with any iteration of Catwoman. She also starts acting like a cat, like she loves catnip.
Yeah.
She loves sushi. What else? She poops in the litter box.
Cream. She goes to a bar and orders cream.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that was most people's question was, wait, this is what Catwoman is really?
It feels like the story like auto-translated like 7 times. And I mean, it's like, oh.
I'm not a comic book person.
No,
so I don't
but
know.
you know who isn't a comic book person either? Pitoff.
Did you ever hear the story of like Golan and Globus' script for Spider-Man?
Oh, no.
Where like I think it was Golan or Globus like wrote it themselves, and they kept calling Doc Ock Spider-Man because they didn't understand. He's like, he has 6 arms. He's Spider-Man, is he not?
Okay, so he's going to attack Spider-Man, and then there'll be another
in the
Spider-Man.
script, it'd be like Spider-Man attacks Spider-Man.
I would have liked to see that movie.
And it was like a complete like misunderstanding of what Spider-Man was. I think that version was going to be directed by either James Cameron, Albert Pune, or Tobe Hooper.
It was probably Albert Pune, because I know James Cameron wrote a script much later
in the 90s, I believe, that he wanted to make his own Spider-Man version.
But so Pitoff said that he had never read Catwoman, didn't know anything about it, but he said
I do not read your American comic books. It is not in bande dessinée like we have in France, hardcovers, all comics.
I read Le Metal Hurlant.
Metal Hurlant, which for fans does not translate to heavy metal. It actually translates to screaming metal.
Oh, okay. I like screaming metal better. So he all the sort of script development was done, and then he said he read a few Catwoman comic books, just to see how it compared to the script, I guess, and then that was about it.
She likes to play basketball.
Oh, does she ever?
Fantastic scene where she plays basketball.
Oh my God.
And
All
it's
right.
hilarious.
Let's jump in though. What was your favorite part, Colin? Because I'm just teeing it up here for you.
I think so I was going to say the basketball scene, like when I first saw it.
Has been YouTubed to death.
It's incredible. Like, look it up. It is so fantastic.
And it
so
also
funny.
encapsulates the entire style of the movie,
Absolutely.
which is like insane close-up wide angles, and it felt like they used 7 cameras and they just cut between all of them.
There's more wide-angle shots in this movie than like Matilda.
Yeah, it's so
Or any Terry Gilliam.
Or Terry Gilliam.
It's just so obnoxious, the camera work.
But you get to see like Halle Berry like do the thing where she like rolls the balls in her
Oh,
arms.
yeah,
She,
like,
like,
in her
Playing
arms.
with it like a cat
And all
would.
the kids are like, whoa, she's
and there's
cool.
so many shots of Halle Berry's posterior in this film. Just like her butt all over the place. She
Like
stops
butt
cars
shots.
with it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
people just stare at it. And
That was
like
probably-
the wide angle lens. It feels like I don't know, some music video about butts. Who sings
Yeah,
about butts?
it's like there's a lot of scenes
Sir
in this
Mix-a-Lot.
movie.
That's what I was trying to say. I was like, Sir Humps-a-Lot? Is that?
Also, Benjamin Bratt is in this movie. We haven't mentioned him because he's so boring.
He's so bland. This is-
Benjamin Bratt, boring. It's right there in the name. I actually really like Benjamin Bratt. I wish he did better stuff.
I don't mind him,
Blanderman
but
Bland.
Yeah, he's pretty bland in this.
Yeah, he's like bland cop man who's like investigating.
And also in a relationship with, it's not Selena Kyle, it's another
it's
name.
Patience.
Patience, yeah. I said Precious.
I
No,
forget
Precious
her name.
Patience.
I forget her last name. It's like Precious or Patience something.
Patience.
So what's your favorite part, Colin?
Okay, so it started out, and I saw the basketball scene. I was like, okay, I know my favorite part.
You made us watch it again because you were out of the room when it happened.
It always happens. I always gotta take a whiz, and then I come back and something's happening, and I
was
can hear
worth
it.
watching twice.
I could hear you guys laughing, and while I was taking a whiz, and I was like, no,
Not
rewind it.
again.
Not again.
But then, so I have to say, at the very end, Sharon Stone turns out to be the big bad of the movie. I don't think she even
No, big surprise.
shows up.
She's barely in the movie. She's at the beginning and she's at the end.
Yeah.
Probably like an hour, over an hour into
And her
the movie.
husband is played by...
Lambert Wilson, the Merovingian.
And Colin would say that every time he came up on screen. He's like, there's a Merovingian from my favorite, Matrix Reloaded. Hey guys, you want to talk about Matrix Reloaded?
Hey, maybe we should do that on the podcast someday.
Oh, I like Matrix Reloaded.
I've never seen it.
Speaking of Matrix Reloaded, the effects in this movie. So we were all talking about the CG Catwoman.
Is this your favorite part, the effects?
No. Oh, no. Actually, my friend
Catwoman?
No, my friend worked on this movie. He worked for a company called Escape Entertainment. And this was the
Escape, the visual effects company. Heyo.
It's the Escape Key. It was started by John Gaeta. He was the effects supervisor on the first Matrix. Started this company called Escape. They did all the digital doubles for the Matrix sequels. So like the big Neo versus Agent Smith fight and all that sort of thing. So yeah, they did all the digital double work on this movie too. And I gotta say, we weren't there yet, man. The effects
Still
wasn't
not there yet with digital doubles.
Black Panther.
Much better.
Oh, we are not there in Black Panther.
I know, but that's where we are now.
No,
so
that
look
is not a
at it.
representation of where we are now. I think that was just
Are you one of those people who are like, Mr. Nolan, I can show you a digital Batman that will look just as good as practical Batman?
No, I'm not. But no, there is some fantastic digital double work that can be done now. Black Panther.
Catwoman.
Well, can
Blade
you think
2.
of a good example of that?
You
wouldn't
never
know.
notice.
You don't even see it.
You wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, it's like time travel. The best time travel policeman, you wouldn't know because nothing would be wrong.
Yeah, I guess
That's
a
from
good
Time
part.
Cop 2,
Oh my God.
Too.
starring Jason Scott Lee. What's your favorite part, though,
Okay,
Colin?
my favorite part is I was building up to this. So Sharon Stone comes in. It turns out by using the cream, like you said, it turns your face, your skin to granite.
Marble.
Or she says, a living marble.
It does not affect her at all in the fight. She just gets beaten up.
Yeah, so her and Catwoman kind of go toe-to-toe at the very end, at the top of this building, and, they're fighting. She's like, I don't feel anything. And then Catwoman eventually kind of kicks her out of the building, and she falls.
Yeah, but she kicks her out, and it's the classic hero thing where they're like, no, take my hand!
And at
Yeah.
the last minute, oh, sorry.
Sorry, I kicked you off
the
the ledge.
Catwoman also says after Sharon Stone falls out, she's like, "Oh, I tried to save her, so it doesn't count as killing her."
I'm not a murderer.
Yeah.
I'm not a murderer. I may have pushed her out of the window. But there's a shot of her falling, and I'm not... It's definitely not digital. It's
like a dummy caught in the
practical
wind.
dummy, but it's caught in the wind or something, and it's
Is it possible that it was a stunt person?
Yeah, it's probably a stunt person.
It was a stunt person eventually.
Yeah, it turned into just a person falling without spinning around and around.
Yeah, so it's caught in the wind and it's spinning like crazy, like a helicopter
looks heavy.
propeller.
It looks. You've never seen like
it is
someone fall
so
like this.
Funny. I laughed,
pretty
and we
funny.
watched it again, and eventually it takes over as a stunt woman, and it's Zoe Bell who is in
right.
Tarantino's movies.
It's weird because it almost feels like maybe a stunt person would be tough. Or like, I want to do this. I don't know why he's a vampire now. Let me get my French. No, he's gonna be a vampire still. I want to do this. Someone falling out of a window with it in a way we have never seen. Can he spin when he falls? And the stunt people are like, I guess he could. It doesn't really matter. Because usually you use a descender rig with that, where like someone can fall and it'll slow as they fall, so they don't get hurt.
Yeah,
when
which
they
looks
get low
like,
to
which
the
looks
ground.
like the second half of the fall.
Yeah.
But the first half is just so fucking funny. We all like just burst out laughing.
Speaking of visual effects, I think my favorite part is definitely the endless establishing shots in this movie.
Oh my God.
So
The digital city flyovers.
they built a digital city
on rock and roll.
and every
Yeah.
time that you cut to a new location, the camera's like, and it is so fakey and so long every time too.
Pitoff does not do like lock off establishing shots.
No,
okay?
it's like
This was before drones, but even the excessive use of drones now is nothing like this. This is like, what if you could zoom into the building?
or what if you could zoom into the building and there's a reflection of a house, but then you go through it and you're going toward the house?
Yeah, it's like every
Hey, you thought it was real, right? You're wrong.
It's like every establishing shot has to start at one end of the city and then it ends on the other side, but it takes place in like 2 seconds or 3 seconds. It's like,
This is a very 90s feeling film.
it's crazy. Everything about it.
Yeah, the cheesy lines, the music. Although there's
the
a lot
music.
of the early 2000s music because that was the time. But it just the way it was shot, like it was like I was watching that Vanilla Ice movie sometimes.
Cool as Ice?
Yeah.
How dare you besmirch Cool as Ice? The greatest
We'll see it
movie where a
eventually.
man breaks into a woman's house and feeds her ice cubes as she wakes
Oh,
up.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, every fight scene in this film, they just like needle drop like a woman sung pop song.
It sounds
Yeah.
like Destiny's Child.
It
like,
very well could
constantly.
be. We didn't look at
and
like
it
the
just
entire
feels like
soundtrack.
completely disconnected from what's going on. It feels like a male producer being like, what do women like? This could be like a women film, right?
Yeah,
you know,
it's overused.
We dress up Halle Berry like a dominatrix,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
you know,
boy.
for the women, we have the music playing.
Yeah, and
Forgot
it's like
sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
it's just a needle drop, and like every kind of big scene is shot like a music video or something.
I mean, the
like
whole
that.
movie feels like a shitty music video. The kind that when you see, you're like, I guess they're using like crazy angles, but there's no content to it. It's like, I hope this makes up for what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like let's make it exciting
It's
by
that style over substance.
yeah,
as
it's
they
like the whole
say.
basketball
Yeah.
scene is kind of shot and
But
edited
somehow
like
the
that.
movie is over 90 minutes.
And
an
there's
hour and 40.
There's so little plot. There's
Yeah,
very
it's
little
barely anything
plot.
goes on, and like after she becomes Catwoman, like we're over an hour into the movie, and Sharon Stone hadn't even showed up for the second time.
yeah,
Yeah.
Colin was like, "Where's the Merovingian?"
Or like, where's Lambert Wilson?
It was just. It was
he like
just
lifts his arm.
about.
Look at my tattoo.
It's just about Halle Berry dating Benjamin Bratt for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
so it's a
that's
romance.
basically it.
Oh, and then her sidekick is Alex Borstein from Mad TV and Family Guy,
That's right.
and
And the fabulous Miss Maisel, wonderful Miss Maisel, marvelous Miss Maisel.
she does absolutely nothing. She's in the hospital this entire movie.
Yeah.
And we keep waiting because she's using this cream that destroys people's faces for her face to melt
or do
Nothing
something.
happens.
Nothing happens.
She gets headaches.
Yeah, that's it.
There's
You don't
no.
need a makeup effect for that.
She goes to the hospital for like 100 years. Oh, but you know what you do need makeup effects? Digital makeup effects is to make everybody look like a golden god that human eyes cannot stare
Yeah,
at.
it's very strange. So this, I had read on IMDb, and it was like, oh, it's like a transfer to digital for a grading session. But, you know, like
Oh, yeah,
digital
no
color.
shit.
Where brother art thou, which was
Yeah.
the first one to do that.
Inside Llewyn Davis,
Yeah.
sorry, it had the same sort of look. It was very artificial and glowy,
Blown
and
out.
weird. You could see all
the
the kind of
highlights are cranked to a million.
But it's just like people's faces.
Yeah.
They look like
Smooth.
mannequins.
the faces
Yeah.
look very manipulated.
Well, now we have a thing called highlighter that women use.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they have it everywhere on all of the cheekbones and men and women.
yeah,
Like,
everybody
every human.
is like
Everybody.
glowing in this movie,
And
like
there's
they're
the cats.
aliens.
There's some close-ups of Sharon Stone's face where it looks like some parts of her face have been really blurred and softened, and other
Yeah.
places have like texture. It's very strange.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part, April?
My favorite part would definitely be Halle Berry's performance.
Oh yeah.
She just in general,
Meow.
she's just so good at giving she's,
Wait, whoa.
I mean, okay, she's not. If she wasn't like giving this performance, then the entire movie would not work because there's some over the top performances, kind of like Sharon Stone and a couple other people, but everyone else is just kind of boring. She's like carrying this whole movie.
What is the voice that she's trying to do as Catwoman?
It's
Oh,
weird,
I don't
but
even
then
know.
she didn't seem to do the voice for most of the movie, and then
she's like,
It came and went.
"Hello, I am Catwoman."
she's trying to do like an
That's got your tongue.
Yeah.
And then she just speaks normally.
When she's like, "It's overtime."
Oh,
which
God.
is her final tagline.
Yeah, we
which I'm
think
like-
she said it's overtime.
I'm like,
yeah.
is she playing sports of some
No,
kind?
I think Sharon Stone is like pushing her out the window, and she says, "It's game over." And then Halle Berry's
No,
like,
it's in overtime.
"It's overtime."
And I'm like, wow, that's a lame one-liner. Not
Yeah.
enough cat puns.
Well,
in
how
this
about the
movie.
remix?
Oh, it's time for the remix.
Yeah.
Well, when she
Yeah.
insults the Merovingian Lambert Wilson from my favorite movie, Matrix Reloaded, she gets fired, and she says, it's like I wish I didn't waste my time working, whatever, blah blah blah.
Do you think she did all her own stunts, April?
Halle Berry?
Yeah.
Sure.
the digital
The
doubles.
CGI would say
We didn't even
otherwise.
talk about how many digital doubles are in this movie.
There are times when it's like there's no need for a double at all.
I know. She's just walking.
She's walking, and I'm like,
sometimes.
that's digital.
The
Why would
final
they do
shot
that?
of the movie is a digital Halle Berry with like her hips are
I
dislocated.
know. It's like
I
instead
think.
of like compositing her onto a rooftop, let's just have a fake Halle Berry walk on a rooftop.
and then a CG cat in the foreground, like following
Yeah.
along with her. It's so weird. It's like they tried to like this is probably like the walk cycle they had done as like a kind of CG test. Like here's her walk
Totally.
cycle, here's the CG double, and they got a lot of use out of it.
I'm shocked that like the camera didn't fly into the mouth of a CG cat.
Yeah.
Like the final shot.
Yeah.
and then it goes.
But like whenever Halle Berry has to like literally act like a cat. Like she's really going for it. There's a catnip scene that we mentioned. She's like walking down the street and like I think Colin, you said she looked like a crack addict or
Well,
something.
she was twitchy and like
Yeah.
she would notice everything and smell things. and,
Yeah,
like,
she has like superpowers, but like
Literally.
things that cats can't do, which is like see and zoom into things, like a vampire can.
well, I guess their senses are heightened.
But
you know
come
what I mean?
on, they can't see that well.
So really, this is the original Venom.
Well, there are a
yeah.
number of similarities.
Like she goes to a restaurant and she has a big freak out where she's like looking at a fish tank and
Yeah,
like
she's
eating a bunch of fish.
But then it was the scene earlier on where, just sort of showed the transformation, how she was very meek beforehand, and then she becomes this like really strong. So it's like, I guess she lives across from a bar, and the bar, they kind of set up, plays this heavy metal music really loud, and
Yeah.
she's like, oh, and then she closes the blind, and like they're gonna have a scene like Venom where they, she goes over and.
And she's like, quiet down. And like she goes and she like knocks on the door. And they're like, nah, we're not going to turn our music off. And they slam the door in her face. And her eyes light up like the dog in the opening credits of Goosebumps. It's like,
Yeah.
Her eyes
It
turn
was
into
like
cat
that.
eyes.
It was
and then
like
she,
that.
And then she kicks the door down and sprays beer on the.
she's just pissed.
Yeah. I mean, talk about things
Projectile
cats do. A cat would have done that.
Yeah.
And I mean, she lives right across from a bar. I don't think it's the bar's responsibility to keep the music down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think she sprays.
Like seltzer.
Yeah, it's like, so I don't think they have seltzer at like a
Just-
heavy metal
It's
bar.
just like that scene in It's a
no
Wonderful
water.
Life.
Excuse me, sir.
Like in It's a Wonderful Life, where he sprays the old drunk with.
Get out of here, Remy.
Yeah, it was like that.
Old man Gower.
Gower.
I think that's maybe the only time that It's a Wonderful Life and the Halle Berry Catwoman have been discussing the same. Because really, it's her going through her life. What would it be like if she was a cat?
Well, Catwoman, Halle Berry,
Also Catwoman.
Oscar-winning actress, and it's been very much talked about how like she won an Oscar, and then she did like a bunch of movies that weren't well received. Gothica was one. Then this,
Was this like right after Monsters Ball?
I believe.
not like right. I think it was like within a couple of
I
years.
mean,
Yeah.
listen, she didn't pull a Cuba Gooding Jr. by any stretch of
Oh
the
my
imagination.
God.
Let us not forget Boat Trip, originally called Gay Boat. I'm not even.
Oh my
It's called
god.
Gay Boat?
Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
That's one that we
God.
should watch for this show.
Oh
'cause
my
I
God.
hear
No.
it's real bad.
Oh god. All I know is like someone ejaculates
Out of a window,
out of a
right?
window onto
Oh,
somebody.
God.
Yeah.
Is it Roger Moore? Yeah,
Roger Moore, yeah. Oh, it's disgusting.
But yeah, Halle Berry went to the Razzies and she accepted
She shut
she
up.
accepted her Razzie. She brought her Oscar and she gave like a really funny. She was like doing a parody of her own Oscar performance,
Oh,
which
really?
everybody or Oscar acceptance speech where
Yeah.
she cries and stuff. And she's like, "I'd like to thank the writers, all 8 of them." And everyone
Yeah,
was laughing.
it was
Apparently
really
this movie
good.
had 8 writers.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's like,
yeah.
thank my agent for putting me in this piece of shit movie. It's really
Yeah.
funny. Just Google it. It's on
She was
YouTube.
a good sport.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Don't encourage the Razzies. They're
whatever.
bad. I'm sure at the back of the Denny's it was taking place at. She had fun.
Again, about Halle Berry, she was in this movie, and I think it was called A Perfect Stranger. And it was her and Bruce Willis, and it's like she's like a journalist trying to take down Bruce Willis, and it's like
Oh yeah, that's the one
she's
where
like chatting online with him.
Bruce Willis
sounds
doesn't know how to
familiar.
use a computer.
No, but I actually watched it, and it was really. It's a bad movie, but it's funny, and it's like it's a movie that's like a
That's the one-
thriller, but it's really cheesy.
At the end, it's like Halle Berry is really the serial killer, some bullshit
no.
like that.
basically, yeah. And I can't remember the name of the other guy in it, but
We're gonna share our favorite
check
Halle
it
Berry
out.
performances.
Yeah.
Perfect
Oh my God.
Stranger.
I think it's called A Perfect Stranger.
that sounds right.
It sounds familiar.
It's like about the dangers of chatting online,
It like-
and you don't know who you're talking to.
Like
yeah,
that-
you could be talking to Bruce Willis.
Like that true life documentary, The Net.
oh yeah,
I still haven't seen the net.
That was like a TBS staple.
hasn't aged a day since it was
That's on
made.
Amazon Prime right now. I gotta watch that.
Okay.
So what's the other movie that we watched, April?
Well, we kept with the cat theme, and also
Superstars.
Oscar-winning theme, the George Kennedy starring Uninvited. So 2 Oscar winners tonight, you
That's
guys.
a stretch. The George Kennedy starring
I know.
Uninvited.
He was top billed, but
Top build.
But people may be like, wait, what? How does our cat involved in this? And we learn right in the opening scene.
Yeah, this is great. It doesn't waste any time.
it's a real weird plot when you say it.
Also,
It's
when you
a
watch
movie
it.
where there's a cat inside of another cat, and the inside cat is a monster that will instantly kill you.
Yeah, so
Because
it's, like,
it's infected with a mutagen.
yeah, we cut to this. It starts out in like a science facility or something. It's called Genetic Laboratories. It's like the most generic name for any kind of laboratory.
Straightforward.
And these scientists are like trying to inject this cat with something. It escapes. They all start chasing it, and it starts killing them one by one.
Yeah, it kills like 7 people in this opening scene. And you see this giant puppet cat right away. It's like its mouth opens and this little furry, it looks like a bat cat thing.
Yeah,
Kind
it's
of like a zombie cat.
it's weird, but it's like pulling its way out of the mouth.
It's
and-
like 3 times the size of the cat as well when
Oh,
it
yeah,
pulls
for
itself
sure.
out.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really hard to describe this, but it's a normal orange cat that they film, a regular cat running around, and then they'll just cut to a comical giant plush cat head with another puppet coming out of it.
Yeah,
and the orange cat head, the one that it's coming out of, looks like something out of an anime movie. The facial expression,
Yeah,
there,
it's like
got a
massive.
little
It's so funny.
Totoro thing going on.
Yeah, it definitely does, and it's never not funny. It's
No, and
hilarious.
it happens several times. throughout
Yeah,
the
and this
movie.
thing comes out of right out of the blue.
Yeah, there's no like Jaws style, what could the thing inside the cat look like?
no
Nope,
build-up.
you see it instantly. And to make a long story short, you meet a whole bunch of characters, and they all end up on a boat, a bunch of teen spring breakers.
Yeah.
on a yacht.
A billionaire that we just reminded us of Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, he does.
Looks
He
like
kind of looks
him.
like Bernie, and then mixed with like, I guess you said Mel Brooks, April.
A
like,
little
at
bit.
some point. Yeah.
A little bit like Mel
And then
Brooks.
there's George Kennedy, who
George
hates teenagers.
Yeah, he's like his enforcer, I guess.
Oh,
This-
and Clu Gulager is there as well.
Yeah.
With-
wearing the teeth that I think Colin said that Mickey Rooney wore in
breakfast at
Tiffany's.
Tiffany's.
Yeah.
He's
there's-
got these
yeah.
comically large buck teeth.
There's these 3 older men, and then there are all these teens, and through
And don't forget
whatever.
the cat is there too.
And the cat, yeah.
At the beginning, the cat is like more like a vigilante than anything.
Yeah, so before they even get on the boat, this cat kills.
Yeah.
Some robbers.
Yeah, these like I guess it like shows up at some mechanics or something like that,
And the mechanic is like, "Oh, here, nice cat."
gives it
nice
some cream.
cat." And then some robbers come and knock the mechanic out.
Yeah, this guy like beats up the mechanic, steals a truck. I guess it's like this red pickup truck. And then
Hops a ride.
The cat hitches a ride and kills them both.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, it just bites these guys, and then we cut to the truck flipping off like a cliff or going over a hill or something.
And it was a great, like, you see the puppeteer's hand, like, holding
Oh,
the cat,
yeah,
and,
totally.
like, attacking
It's
the
great.
guy.
And then it ends up on a yacht because I think it was just hanging out on the dock, and it just runs up to one of the girls. Oh, kitty! And then we're getting on this boat with this rich guy. Why not bring the cat?
And this is like a porn boat. Like a fuck
Oh,
boat.
absolutely. Yeah, I think April said that. Fuck
Well, I
boat.
mean, why do millionaires have yachts
To
to
throw
sleep with
awesome
young
parties.
women? Yeah,
But it's just kind of like, okay, it looks like it would be an expensive boat, but it's kind of tatty
It's like
inside.
scuzzy.
small.
Yeah.
Probably,
Small
like,
for
I
a
feel it's
yacht.
probably director Graydon Clark's boat. Like, he
Yeah.
probably
Do you
just
think he
owns
could
it.
afford a boat like that?
Probably not. You're right. He directed a bunch of movies. He directed the parody horror film Wacko with George Kennedy.
Really?
Yeah, he
Oh my
did.
God.
Also released by Vinegar Syndrome.
Wait, was that before this movie?
I don't remember where it falls within the
Wow,
filmography.
I'm just like, he did this movie, and then George Kennedy wanted to like come back.
I mean,
and work
George
with him?
Kennedy in this film, like he's happy for the paycheck. Like I don't think it's possible for George Kennedy to give a bad performance. 'Cause
No,
he
no.
always sounds like himself.
He's always great. He's got a very commanding. He's got a really amazing voice, and
He also was in previous episode Nightmare at Noon.
Mm-hmm.
that's right.
He's everything I see him, and I think he's great.
Yeah,
And
he's
so
really good.
These teens are just like cliche 80s kind of like, what we're wearing crazy clothes and we love to dance and
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
jokes.
Here's Cooter. He loves to fuck.
There's,
Yeah.
there's the sporty guy. There's the nerdy guy. You know,
I'm a biologist.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of turns into like a boner comedy at some point. It's
Wait,
like,
is that what you
yeah.
call them?
Yeah.
Boner comedy?
you know, like hard bodies or something.
Yeah. Like Ski Patrol
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. I've never heard it
Hot
called.
Dog, the movie.
Yeah.
hot dog.
Wait, what is Screwball? Shot in Toronto.
Or Porky's. is
Porky's,
another
yeah.
one.
Porky's 2 the next day.
This director did a movie called Joy Sticks.
I have it at home.
Oh,
Really?
It's not. It's a
I've heard of that.
boner comedy. I'm going to say it like that from now on.
That's supposed to be really bad. But
About like an arcade.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
why it's called Joyce. The cover is like
It's the
two
girls.
women like playing a video game, and like the guy is like through a panel drooling.
isn't that the
Like a
movie
serial killer.
where there's like an old woman who has like a fetish for like farting? And
think that's
yeah,
the one,
and
yes.
her husband, I have no idea.
Not to be confused with Fart the movie.
Yeah.
Fart the movie is amazing. It's about a guy who loves to fart all the time, and like
it's
his
on
wife
Amazon
breaks
Prime.
up with him because he can't stop farting.
Oh my god.
And as we know, farting is funny. I think that's part of Joysticks. I don't remember though.
Okay. It might have been
Wait, did you
another
see
boner
that?
comedy.
Were you searching like
No, I came
erotic
up-
fart film?
It came up on another podcast. I
no,
listened to.
I was searching through Amazon Prime Video, and
Farts.
Fart the movie came up.
Oh well, maybe
was
we
like, oh
should
my
watch
God.
it. I don't know.
You're like a child. You're like, Alexa, play the fart movie.
Thank God we don't have Alexa.
Yeah.
You know that's going to trigger somebody's Alexa.
yeah. And it's like fart movie has been bought.
No,
for
we have to bleep
$99.99.
that out.
Anyway, back to The Uninvited. Or I think it's just
Just
Uninvited.
Uninvited, because The Uninvited is actually a classic film.
That's right,
That was
yeah.
released by like Criterion from I think the 40s.
Was it remade? There's a newer movie in the 2000s.
I believe
called The
there's like a
Uninvited.
Yeah.
million movies called The
Yeah,
Uninvited.
probably.
Wasn't it David Goyer directed one?
David S. Goyer.
David S. Goyer.
It's possible, yeah.
I may be thinking of a similar title.
But at one point, George Kennedy in this movie says, "Desperate men do desperate things."
And then Colin, what did you say?
I was just like, yeah, like I guess you being in this movie, like I gotta pay rent.
Yep. What was your favorite part?
Yeah,
April?
it's probably pretty like cheap, but I mean, I like the cat.
Yeah, you jump in right ahead, get that cat head.
Well, it's not even just like the hilarious puppet, and
Yeah.
there's two puppets, and it's really well done. And whenever it happens, it's just done like in a way that it's like always like a jump scare, but like even though you're ready for it,
It's
I know.
never not funny.
Justin,
Yeah.
you jumped. I
No,
saw
I never
you
jumped from that
did.
cat.
I saw you out of the corner
I
of my
saw
eye.
a jump.
I will be honest.
It was
too.
the one where the preppy guy, the James Spader looking guy, was
Yeah.
downstairs in the engine room, and the cat came out, and you were like,
I am so easily scared by everything. And when scary parts happen, I cover my ears. I don't think I was doing it during that, so maybe that's how it got me. And it's that classic, like, it comes right out of the side frame.
yeah, it was like panning over and
Yeah.
came out. "Row."
it was a great reveal every time. But like, I mean, it started off with the cat like having a character, like it wanted to give justice because it starts killing off the people on the boat that are doing bad things.
Mm-hmm.
George Kennedy shoots one of the boys, and then he gets it.
Well, first of all, the Wall Street Walter,
Oh,
played
yeah.
by Alex Cord, is an actor. He's been in a ton of stuff. He tries to rape one of the women, and then
Oh, that guy. I thought you were talking about the other
Clu
guy.
Gulager?
Clu Gulager.
Oh, no.
He actually gets killed
drunkenly,
first.
like, just improvs. The cameras just roll on him, and he's just, like, doing a bunch of
He
shit.
did something bad. He spit wine on the cat.
Yeah.
also he murdered someone at the beginning of the movie.
that's
Oh,
true,
right. Yeah.
He did drown
The
somebody.
cat knew.
Yeah.
The cat knew, and the cat bites him. And then we learn that if you get bit by the cat, there's like a bunch of Dick Smith style bladders on your throat, and you start bleeding, and
Yeah,
you'll
you're
eventually
Like
die.
your veins start to
veins-
pulsate.
Yeah, and explode and
But not explode in the way like you want. Like no one's head
No,
explodes.
it's never
in this.
satisfying.
Yeah.
It's
We
like
thought
a
it-
little explosion.
Yeah, we kind of thought at one point George Kennedy gets bit on his ankle.
Yeah.
And then like his whole body starts going in his chest.
It looks like it's gonna do the alien thing,
and we were so disappointed.
yeah. It feels like maybe they were supposed to, and like it didn't work, so they were like, "All right, we got to keep moving."
Or maybe they were like, they won't be expecting this. They're gonna think it's gonna pop
No,
out like an
definitely like
alien.
it.
Then smash cut to George Kennedy just being thrown into a watery grave.
They do too. Okay, this is my favorite thing.
Okay.
There's two cuts. So they after George Kennedy dies, and it was like this big anticlimax. Like, oh man, they just cut to like a wide shot, like high angle of them tossing his body over. It's kind of wrapped, giving him burial at sea or whatever. And the sort of James Spader guy later on in the movie is down in the engine room and gets attacked by the cat.
just brutally mauled.
Just
His
brutally
whole face,
mauled.
like ripped off.
And he's like screaming, "Ah!" And then they just cut. It's like a comedy cut, and I laughed so hard. The same wide angle high
of a body being tossed
Wrapped
off the
in a
edge.
sheet.
of this wrapped in a sheet, but body with like the big blood stain being tossed over, and man, that was so funny. You couldn't have cut it better.
Well, the thing about this movie is that it's like a comedy, but everybody is playing it so straight that it goes into that territory of, is this supposed to be funny? I don't think it's supposed, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it is. Grady Clark did like a bunch of comedy stuff before this, and while he's not, I don't want to say the most competent filmmaker. Well, he worked in the industry for a long time, but he's not very stylish or anything like that.
No.
Like, there's some steady cam shots at the beginning of the movie that's supposed to be the cat's POV.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
right.
5 feet off the ground. It's like, this is a giant cat. But my favorite part of this movie is the fact that the last act, instead of turning into what you would expect, which is a cat picking off teenagers on the boat one by one until finally in like the last 10 minutes they figure out what's going on. They figure out what's going on like 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
And instead it turns into like this death march, like Alive, like that movie where they crash the plane, where they're just on this boat and the boat is broken and they're trying to figure out how to fix it. And the cat keeps like killing them if they go in the wrong place. But it's really their psychosis that is like destroying all of them.
The cat isn't going for people. The people end up finding the cats.
Yeah, exactly.
By, going into that different rooms.
And then their food gets poisoned.
Yeah, they can't eat the food, so they're starving.
They run out of fresh water. The cat has gotten into the food and I guess tainted the food. So if they eat it, they'll be infected.
But somebody does, and her neck explodes with blood.
Yeah,
she's
that's
still
pretty
alive.
good.
She's like, and she's dying.
That was a pretty good death. They should have immediately cut to a high angle shot of them tossing her body over the.
And after this death march, as everybody's slowly dying, the film ends with 2 of the characters getting in a lifeboat and floating away. And then the cat jumps on the boat, and we're like, oh yeah, of course this is gonna happen. And it jumps at someone. And this cat has been like invincible the entire movie.
Pretty much.
But right here, the person is just able to toss the puppet off to the side. Yeah. And they're like, oh, are you okay? Did it scratch you? No, we're good. Oh no, here he comes again.
And I think he literally says like, oh no,
it's like, coming. We're not out of trouble yet or something. We're not out of the woods. But it's like someone threw the puppet at him and he like catches it
again
as it's like
and he shakes it and he tosses it off and then I think he goes, oh, all it wants is something to float on.
So they have this like briefcase full of $1 million, so they empty it out and then throw that into the ocean, and the last shot of the cat is just it floating away looking at them, and it looks really like angry.
But see, like, there you go, it's like humanity for the cat didn't do anything wrong. The cat is not evil. It was just trying to survive.
The only people it attacked are the people who did bad things or tried to harm it.
Or everybody.
Well, it did attack that guy at the end, but the 2 like good, quote unquote good characters, they lived.
Did it really try to attack him? It didn't scratch him or bite him like it did everybody else. It just wanted to give him a hug.
It's true. it was just jumping on the boat and it jumped too
Cats
fast.
are known for giving people hugs and being being loving.
Kisses.
They do love getting hugs.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Like,
They're like,
no, I know lots of cats who like hugs.
Meow.
What was your favorite
toxic
part?
Plasmosis Todd speaking.
Oh, Jesus.
I said my favorite part was the cat.
Yeah, your favorite part was the bodies.
bodies.
My favorite part was how it turns into a death march as we slowly watch everybody die at the end of the movie.
But we do have to talk about one amazing part at the very end. So
the final shot.
No, it was the model boat.
Oh yeah,
there's a model boat in this movie.
Yeah,
that
so
sinks.
right before it sinks, this big thunderstorm breaks out, and you see this. And then all of a sudden, it cuts to this wide shot of this tiny little model boat in this storm,
shaking in the water.
It's so small.
That's how you know it's gonna sink.
Yeah. They keep cutting to it because they want their money's worth.
Yeah, it's like, they couldn't shoot the real boat in a storm, so they have this little thing, and it looks maybe like 2 feet long or something. It's so funny.
Sorry, go ahead.
Unfortunately, the cat's head does not appear above the boat like it does in all the posters.
Yeah,
like haunting it. like it could form like a skull in the clouds or something like that.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't happen.
No.
Sad. But the heroes survive. Or do they? Because the final shot is a black cat on the beach.
Different cat.
Yeah, they make it to the, I guess, Cayman Islands or something.
That's where they were going originally.
Wow.
And then a little child picks up the black cat, and there's a freeze frame. It's like, dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Like a crop in freeze frame, and you're like, I guess it's in
like
another cat.
Truffaut's 400 Blows.
Oh, I guess so. The briefcase washes up. So once the cat is out of the bigger cat.
Yeah, it can go into any other cat, I guess.
But when it was at the end, when it was floating on that briefcase, it wasn't in the orange cat. It was
was
zombie
the
cat.
interior zombie.
So
Yeah,
I guess
zombie cat.
it
Troll
lost
cat.
its home.
Like a snail.
It's like a snail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can go into just cats, I guess.
It's such a weird
What a weird
idea.
premise.
Yeah.
It's you can't trust, I guess, your cat. But it's good. It's good. It's a good cat.
Well, it's so weird. Like, who'd come up with that idea? Like, you'd
I
think
know.
that the cat itself would be crazy.
You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
And then you
is
look at
a
the cat and you're like, oh man, what if there was a cat inside another cat?
yeah, but then
Yo,
that's
dog.
not enough.
I heard
but it's a
you-
poison cat.
Yeah.
I heard you like cats, so I put a cat in your cat. And it's also poison.
It's like a turducken.
Yeah.
So
It is.
It was very disappointing that, like, when you get bit by the cat, you just kind of die. You don't turn into like a rabies zombie monster
yeah,
that has
that would
to
be
be
kind of
killed.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would have just been one too many things.
Yeah, Grady Clark is like, whoa, slow down. The cat within the cat. We're pushing the limits here. We can't go any further than that.
Well, I think that like there is a
know
lot
why
of
Grady Clark talks
lot
about
of
that.
dead space in this movie. You know, just scenes of people doing
People
nothing,
dancing.
people dancing, lots of
Ah,
dancing.
It's hot in here.
Yeah,
Let me-
it's
There's some makeout scenes. That
Oh man, we got
we
to
forgot
talk about
the greatest
Yeah.
kill scene in the movie.
Well, we got to talk about the Foley first of all. Oh my
Foley is
god.
kind of connected because the Foley artist, they really got their money's worth.
So we hear the same meow of the cat 1,000 times, and its
Holy
mouth is never moving.
And there's one point where it's just like. Well, it first starts off in the car crash scene when the cat kills the guys who are driving the red
Yeah.
pickup truck, and then it's crashing, and you hear the like the breaking glass. But
Yeah.
it's just over and over, and you can just hear somebody like pushing it on the keyboard.
We only have this one special effect.
this one
It's
sound.
analog, Colin. Cut us some slack.
Yeah, so this cat sound effect, but then just like the hot mics on the. Oh god,
That's gross. And like, so every sound effect was just like really turned up. But the cat meow is anytime you ever see the cat ever, they play it and its mouth is clearly not moving.
it's never moving.
It's not meowing.
Maybe it's telepathic.
It's telepathically meowing.
Yeah, they
Sure.
have these like two kind of like sex scenes where the couples are making out, and it's just like
Yeah. But the second sex scene
God,
Yeah.
it's so
ends
gross.
in the best
Oh,
way.
yeah.
One of the guys got shot in the arm, and he's like, I can't feel my arm. And then like the woman's like, I'll give you something else you can feel. And she like takes the pillow off the arm he can't feel, and the cat is just like eating his fingers.
Yeah,
he's
and they're
"Oh,
like,
my
whoa! And then he freaks out, and he's like, my blood is poisoned. I have to jump in the water. Where it's like, you're gonna die anyway, so why are you jumping in the water? And
I
then
would
he
rather
takes
drown.
his girlfriend with him,
And
who
they
was
both die.
fine. She
They
did
both
not
just disappeared.
She did not need to die. Yeah.
Listen, all these cast members, it's costing a lot on my porn yacht. So there's, big Dick 7 is going to be shooting here.
Oh
in a
god,
week,
it
so we
totally
gotta
looks
be
like
done.
one. It's just so gross looking.
I think it's kind of a good idea though to set a movie on a yacht to save money. You know,
Totally.
The
Do you own a yacht?
No, but the beginning it starts off. There's like a lab, and then there's a parking lot, and then there's a little bit in the hotel, and then we're on the yacht for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But I think that you get that claustrophobic feeling like they're going for. It's a good idea, you know.
And you know what's even better? A cat inside another cat.
Yeah,
that's poison.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on in this movie.
The layers and layers, like an onion.
It's simultaneously like a lot going on and then not a whole lot going on as far as like
Yeah.
plot goes.
It's a little
you know what I mean?
slow
There's a lot
at
of like
points.
ideas that are just so wacky, and then really not a lot happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how
Whoa,
it
like
ends.
this podcast.
Nothing happens.
Well, I would totally recommend this movie, though. I mean,
It's a good bad movie.
I think
yeah.
it's like a underrated like
bad
charm.
movies don't exist.
Yeah, it's a underrated hidden gem because I never even heard of it. I think maybe I saw a clip of it at the Royal a couple of years ago in some kind of montage, and I was like, "What the fuck am I looking at?"
Yeah.
You see a lot of gifs of it, of like the
Yeah.
cat was in the other
Yeah,
cat.
coming out of its mouth. for
And now you
sure.
can see it in crystal clear condition on the new Blu-ray released by Vinegar Syndrome.
crystal clear graininess.
Yeah, but you want that gray. That's
I think
like
it's-
they scan the negative too.
It's
so
only
that's how it
it's
looks.
only in the night scenes.
Yeah, because
Little
they probably
grainy.
underexposed when they shot it.
Yeah, or just like they're shooting higher ISO, or just like a kind
Give
of
me
like.
film grain, not digital grain, which looks bad.
No, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's a little distracting in the night scenes, but otherwise it's fine.
I've
did
seen
really
worse, I guess. At least you can see what
This
what
guy
you're
loves
looking at.
great. Give it to me.
And there's lots of there's lots of special features on the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
are
There's like
interested.
another cut.
I think it's like
commentary.
$20 or something.
Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome. This episode is brought to you by Vinegar Syndrome.
Were you saying that there's a director's commentary on the?
There is a director's commentary by Graydon Clark. He actually wrote a book about his filmmaking.
What's it called?
That you can, I don't know. It's probably like Graydon Clark, My Story, or something like that. He has a fun career because he actually worked with Al Adamson, the director of Frankenstein versus Dracula, or Dracula versus Frankenstein, the like really crummy 70s movie. So yeah, and he was an actor too. So check out the book, check out the DVD, check out his other film, Black Shampoo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I feel like everybody that like you mentioned has written a book about
George Kennedy.
Yeah, George Kennedy, My Life in.
I discovered that. I was very happy to see that he wrote a book because we all love George Kennedy here.
No,
Yeah.
George Kennedy's book is called "Desperate Men Do Desperate Things."
Is it?
No, I'm just kidding. That's his line from this movie.
Yeah, it'd be amazing if he used that line to name his film. And Catwoman is
It's available everywhere.
yeah,
Maybe
in
rent it
whatever
at an
used
iTunes.
bookstore you're at, and they have a bin of DVDs.
Whatever gas station has a bargain bin.
It's very available, but I like. We haven't done a lot of like later movies on this podcast, but there are a lot of like really like fun, bad, cheesy like movies that are like from this era, like the mid 2000s and the 90s too. But this is like probably the biggest budget movie we've done on this show.
$100 million
yeah, I think so.
on the official one, not the Patreon.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We've
yeah.
done such heavy hitters as Geostorm and Venom.
And
What's that?
Venom.
100 billion?
Oh yeah, but that's 100 billion. That's a good segue into become a Patreon subscriber.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we've got a Patreon, and if you pledge $5 a month, you'll get a bonus episode. One just came out for a great movie called Tough Guys Don't Dance, which was released by Canon Films and features Wing Hauser.
Oh God,
Wings
oh,
Hauser
no.
is so- oh, yeah.
Oh God, oh no. Is it Oh Man? No, it's
Oh man. Oh
Yeah.
god. Oh man.
Oh,
Now
Oh,
that-
God.
now
You've seen
that's
the
a
clip,
hidden
people.
gem.
That's it's what's his name? Ryan O'Neal.
Yeah, Ryan O'Neal.
Oh.
I think he was probably nominated for an Oscar for something like Paper Moon.
Oh, like
because he was in a bunch of Peter Bogdanovich.
He was
yeah,
in
for
Love
Tough Guys
Story.
Don't Dance.
Yeah,
Love Story. Yeah.
Tatum O'Neal and he had,
Paper
like,
Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, with
that
his,
was
his
yeah. it was
daughter.
her- yep, that's right. Wait, what was it? What's the line in Love Story? It's like being in love.
Love
No.
means never having to say you're sorry.
That's crazy.
That's
I've
not
never,
true.
I've
That's not
never
true.
seen it. It's just a very popular clip, and I believe she's dying of cancer or something.
What, in the movie? Spoiler alert.
Oh jeez, I don't know.
I think that's why she says that.
The
What a downer.
The Canadian love stories, though.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry all the time.
You're
Being
sorry
in
no
love
matter
means
what.
always having to say you're sorry.
Join the Patreon if you're interested in that bonus content. Also, if you're at the $2 level, you can be submitted into our lottery where you can pick a bad movie for the show. And if you want to email us, we're at no such thing as a bad movie at gmail.com. And we're also at no such thing pod on Twitter. And my Twitter is just at April Mansky. Also have Instagram.
I'm at DeClueJ on Twitter. That's DECLOUX and the letter J. Justin the Clue on Letterboxd. Listen to the Important Cinema Club, which is another podcast I do by going to importantcinemaclubpodcast.com or importantcinemaclub.com. Yep, that's it. Colin.
I'm on Twitter at Sergeant Zima.
Every time we do this, you're like, what's my Twitter handle again?
I think it's Sergeant Zima. It's
You're more popular than
SGTZIMA.
both
all of us
I
combined.
don't check my Twitter name.
That's what happens when you're famous, April, is that like you're like, I have assistants to deal with this.
Or when you have a Twitter handle that's not your name.
Sergeant Zima. SGTZIMA.
Change your Twitter handle. You should change it to
It's
No
true.
Such Thing Pod.
No, then I'll just forget what I changed it to.
Yeah.
Just change it to your name then. Old Man Colin.
old balls Cunningham.
Balls Cunningham.
But yeah, so two great movies. We should do more movies that feature Oscar winners on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's lots out
So
there.
that was strange. We thought it was going to be a dual cat episode, but it
Yeah,
turned
it's
out
also
to be
dual
Oscar
winners.
episode.
The cat in The Uninvited was also nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and then he
it
actually
was the cat was in the cat.
no, but then
Yeah.
he showed up at the Razzies and then gave a speech.
Yeah, it was-
and he was
Yeah.
holding his Oscars. Like,
So
Pete-off.
get your cat spayed or neutered.
oh my
Thanks,
god!
Bob Barker.
Whoa.
I'm April at Mansky.
My name's Justin the Clue. Yeah, get your cat spayed and neutered.
Get your friend's cat spayed and neutered. I'm Colin Cunningham.
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie.
Meow. Meow, meow.